Okay, well, I'm just gonna start talking because I'm never going to start. I've been fucking around with Audacity, very basic, but it's gonna be how it's gonna be. Okay, wow, what is going on this week? It's nothing different than the other attractive current news week would be like. This time people wanted it and they got it. They got more files with kind of redacted, but they actually still gave you the option that you can play a detective and be like, oh my god, they're so stupid. They didn't even redacted it properly. We are so smart. Not even thinking that there is a big possibility that you are getting psyopped on purpose. Like, these are timed releases of certain files. Timed releases. So just when you let go and start going around your day, they're gonna release it to keep you in that trap. The trap of nothing and the trap of slacktivism. Slacktivism is one of my favorite terms that I've learned, and it's very present in the internet era where they give people a feeling that they are doing something when basically they are not doing anything, like signing petitions. Save the whales, save this, save this. If we get 1 million signatures, then what? What if we get a million signatures? Is there some kind of world police that's gonna police that? Never happens, but it gives people that false feeling of actually participating and doing something while actually doing nothing. Unfortunately, without work, nothing ever happens. So we are in the psychological operation. We have been. We are constantly in psychological operation, and I think that people forget that the internet by itself was the ARPA project, it's intelligence. And with all the internet technology that we have today and that we use it, what do you think, what kind of technology does the army have? Or any armies in the world, or intelligences for that fact. So I don't see how would some intelligence dude still use Gmail and use like specific words like underage girls, Stephen Hawking. And haha, was what my friend told me like yesterday. Somebody wanted to hang out with this files guy, and the files guy was like, nah. So it kind of makes him cool. Also, by looking at the memes currently going on, well, currently since we found out about the files guy, I'm not even going to mention his name, or I'm not going to feed this egregore. I am not at all interested. I'm just curious about some stuff and how it reeks of psyop. Not only that it looks like it literally reeks of psyop. And I cannot believe the amount of people being invested in it energetically and reading and trying to figure out what I mean. The other dude told you long before they released those files, there's nothing in them. They always tell you, but the masses don't understand that what the point is to make this guy actually look and be humanized. Oh, he was a gamer, he used Bash, he used that. It gives people a feeling that they are detectives, which is pretty cool. I understand. But could it be also the possibility that, with all the data harvesting and 4chan being what it is and Reddit being what it is, isn't it possible to then profile all of us users by the things that we like, the things that we dislike, the things that we fear, the things that we worry about? We are not the only ones using the internet. We are being targeted constantly, and I think the internet is the easiest way to achieve that because people willingly give their data. We are willingly giving our comments, likes, dislikes. We are sharing opinions. Some even go into extremes, falling for classical psyop, where the point is to completely change the psychology of, well, now collective massive bases. And we have witnessed that in 2021, which continued for 2 long years, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that I speak in all of us where we remember the COVID years and what happened. Like you almost have like a 5 year hole in your life. Depends. My life continued as it was. I was out and about in nature and was not giving a flying fuck. I lived my life as it wasn't happening. I think that was my falling apart with current news. I just stopped consuming that slop. It not, like literally nothing ever happens. It only happens if you allow it to. So basically, this is very interesting that even the ones making fun of NPCs are actually NPCs, especially in the eyes of those kind of people. But you know, who cares if they think that you're stupid? You should just be like, fuck you, dude. I'm not giving you a single cent of my attention or energy. But we keep feeding that egregore, just feeding it. Ha ha ha. It's so funny. Epstein is playing video games. Yeah, well, you know, he's human in the technological era. If you stop dehumanizing him, in a way, he's just a regular guy, but he is a piece of shit and, you know, probably evil. But the point is, there's millions of those guys walking around in this minute. People are being trafficked. Very evil things are going on. They are not even a part of that. Just very evil human beings and nothing is going on. You know, this thing has been going on for ages with Trojan horse, Alexander faking godhood, Genghis Khan terror rumors, then the Ghost Army, Operation Mindsmith, Operation Mockingbird. You know, planting stories in major media. Come on. MK Ultra, Wandering Ghosts in Vietnam, you know, Gulf War, and modern era, which is so like when I stop consuming this current news slop, I don't know what is going on in the world. I only know what is going on in my world. I know my schedules for today. I know what I want to achieve for today. I'm trying to get to eternal thing as if making friends with crows, making bread, just living my life, not identifying with what these supposed people in power, who perceives them being in power. It's you, I guess. I don't give a fuck about these bombs. They have no effect on my life whatsoever. They only do if I allow them to. But this era where the internet is like social media algorithms are following what you like, they're presenting you with more of what you like. And I know so many people that are on Instagram and they're now getting, let's say, extreme memes. And they're like, oh, you can say this and that here now. Yeah, of course you can. Because it is a testing ground where everything is collected and you are doing it willingly. I mean, I guess probably most people don't even really know what they're selling, but basically you are selling all of your weak spots and then the game starts, it's a controlled release of information all the fucking time. There are honey traps, but the result is always the same. Divide and conquer. Left and right. 4chan, Reddit. This, that. Red, blue, black, white. Trans, non-trans. There's always something. Jews, Muslims, Indians, this and that. Everything makes sense, but at the same time, it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, suddenly, if I didn't know, unfortunately, about who this person is, long before I stopped current news, I would think by all the memes that are being shared, I would think, oh wow, this is some cool guy like Terry Davis or somebody else. But I guess this is insane. Like we are making these celebrities relevant. We are actually feeding what we are supposedly fighting against, and it always backfires. we're making them too relevant, sending out our energy, attention, however you want to call it, toward this. I don't know what you could imagine it like. It's almost like some container of all the collective unconscious stuff. And this container, there's like millions of them. Well, one of them is called, what do you call it? I don't know. Many people, there's so many different scapegoats today. It started with reptilians, then it went towards Satanists, and now it's Moloch Jews, Talmud. I don't know. I actually know because they're in what 15 years of the internet, you could not avoid it. It was present, and you could just see like scapegoats changing or changing form. I don't think we are even at the final form of the final scapegoat that is gonna be the final monster. It's probably gonna be mix of everything that our shadow doesn't like, especially with AI. Can you just imagine? And let's be honest, the AI that is released for public is nowhere near to what, these agencies and army has. Nowhere near, because we're, mortals and basic bitches. But imagine all the information and disinformation and questions and worries and anxieties and curiosities that have been fed into AIs. I'm kind of curious of the final form of the AI. Is it just gonna reach its peak and then it's gonna be down, or it's eventually gonna become some part of us, like, I don't know, futuristic, retrofuturism kind of thing where we are androids and connected to it. But wouldn't that just be an echo chamber of our thoughts, constantly somebody confirming, oh yes, you are right, that's actually true? So yeah, it's hard to escape this current news slop that absolutely makes zero sense. Because the thing is happening, then it reaches its peak of people being interested in that, because let's be honest, our focus is fucked. So then it's like the period of them giving you a period to chill, maybe process the information that you just found out, and to try to return to your real life, or supposed real life. Is there a life outside of social networks nowadays? For most of people, who knows? And then, like, after that chill period, they tease a new current thing, so to get people hooked, and then, the cycle returns. It's like this current thing, it's eternal. If you look back at the history, they have been baiting us forever on the basis of our psyche, emotions, things that we care about. Well, I guess that goes with emotions and our mentality in general. I'm not even shook anymore, but I wouldn't talk about it, and it wouldn't bother me if my in real life friends were completely stuck in that hole of doom scrolling, investigating, and at the same time attacking me for not caring about it. I feel like if people really cared about, is it allowed to say sex trafficking on YouTube? That it's ridiculous that I have to censor myself. And the other crime, you can actually directly maybe help people who are going through that and maybe stop the next cases, instead of giving this guy so much of your energy and not doing anything. It's probably, if he was such, high intelligence, he's probably alive and well and chuckling and following, certain forums or mess stuff like that to get ideas for the next one and then for the next one. And it's probably covering the much bigger monsters, and usually it is like that. While people are distracted by the current thing, it gives perfect time for them, however you want to call them, to actually do the real thing in the background while nobody is paying attention. But I'm curious, if we were paying attention, would it make any difference? And what is it to do in this case? What is the most sane, healthiest thing that you can do? I say to myself, and this is what works for me, I'd rather live in my own world, completely cut off from social media, from news, from any current slop and celebrities, and enjoy eternal things such as art, reading, nature, inspiration, crafting. I don't know. There's so many things to do in this world where I could give my energy to and choose the egregore that I actually want to feed, that will not suck me dry. Because these things are sucking you dry. You are doom scrolling for hours. But for what reason? Like, you are feeding yourself information that will become irrelevant in very, very soon. But, everybody should do what they feel is best for them. And I guess I was just fired up today. I don't understand it. I don't understand that you could make this piece of shit into AI meme where he looks like so cool. We need to stop making evil and stupid people famous, but we just keep doing that constantly. We love making stupid people famous. We enjoy that. And evil people too, I am not done yet. So I asked AI to put my words into, something decent, and says that, agrees that real death is messy and risky, and that, fake death is cleaner, staged, body double. Controlled release and spark phase, 2019 suicide, 2020-2024 document dumps, and 2025 to 2026 mega releases. It's a very classic. I think this was done because you can imagine the amount of people on Reddit, 4chan, YouTube comments, X, Telegram. I think it's scrapped in real time, unless you are very protected. But most people who are on social media, they don't give a fuck about that. It says that metric collected. Let me read this, because I'm pretty sure that many people really need to be aware of this. It says the feedback and demographic harvest phase. This is where the internet turns the masses into unpaid and intelligence assets. Every forum post, Reddit, 4chan, YouTube comment, Xthread, Telegram chat is scrapped in real time. They use tools like NSA Prism or X-Keyscore, Five Eyes program, private contractors like Palantir, etc. Social media APIs, honeypot accounts, and bots. Metrics collected. Who engages? Demographics: age 18 to 35 males, right-wing, anti-establishment skew, high IQ, plus paranoid traits, specific countries. Sentiment analysis: outrage levels, belief in Epstein did not kill himself, and willingness to do something. Network mapping: who follows whom, who shares the deepest dives, who organizes meetups. Behavioral signals: VPN use, store, alt tech platforms, and higher threat score. This builds a live database of highly truth seekers. You are not just using the internet. You are giving them, your psychological profile, social graph, and radicalization markers for free. For example, in the past, Cambridge Analytica harvested Facebook data for psychological targeting. Russian IRA plus Chinese ops do the same daily. US military psyop units explicitly use audience analysis plus feedback loops. Pretest message release measure reaction adjust. This is exactly what I am talking about. Pre-test message, release, measure reaction, adjust, and then cycle repeats. And then there's the exploitation phases where these things are used against you, like targeted demoralization, where you flood the same forums with nothing ever happens meme, dead end rabbit holes, or infighting it's Mossad versus the CIA. It keeps people spinning wheels. Of course, there is a divide and conquer where we amplify left versus right blame games like Clinton body count versus Trump ties, and let's not forget the whole current slop about Obama's wife having a dick. Like, that's something important that humanity must be aware of. Like, people are so retarded, so real. So identification for future ops, quiet surveillance on the most vocal or connected, deplatforming shadow bans on the organizers, entrapment of character assassination if something gets too close, recruitment. Some truth seekers get approached as assets, which happens much more than we think, especially autists, you know. Everyone who spent hours probably researching now probably feel burns out. Next big scandal brings less energy and the cycle repeats. Plus, the more we talk about it, the less relevant it makes it, right? It's almost like it's not about what they did anymore, but it's about them. It's very important that we know their name. This is similar to when people learn a politician's nickname or they give them nickname. It kind of neutralizes them. He's just one of us. No, he's not one of you, you fucking retard. Well, you know, the distraction goes deeper, and while it is happening, the real ongoing networks, like millions of lessers of Epstein's are trafficking right now, stay invisible, practically. It's almost like a fan group. That's why I don't want to give them attention at all. Because, you know, if you look at Operation Mockingbird, it was a large-scale CIA program to infiltrate and influence the major US media outlets by recruiting journalists, planting stories, and shaping public opinion on the Cold War. And I think this is something different. It's just on the internet, and it gives you that fake feeling that, oh, I can remove redacted text and we can read what it says. Incredible. Then in 2010, this Cambridge Analytica data scandal, like the firm harvested personal data from up to 87 million Facebook users. 87 million. And that happened via personality quiz app, then built psychological profiles to micro-target voters with tailored ads exploiting fears, insecurities, and personality traits, like neuroticism or openness. And then it was Timber Sycamore in 2012 to 2017, like $1 billion covered program to arm and train Syrian rebels against Assad, partnering with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and others, but with poor vetting, you know. It literally contributed to chaos, you know. It brought hundreds of thousands of dead people and a proxy war that went out of control. And then you have this Russia's Internet Research Agency and troll farms from 2010 and present, using like bots, fake accounts, and disinformation to sow a division in the West, like amplifying racial tensions, elections interference, and so on and so on. And this is just what we know. And we can't help that we are human beings. We all have our wounds and psychological diversities, I will say, without being mean. We all have our weak spot, and I just think that you should take that into account before losing your mind in this sea of possible information and possible disinformation. If you see how far we've come with available technology, you can just imagine what kind of technology is out there and what is used against us. Maybe for very evil reasons, and maybe for lesser evil reasons, such as selling the product and marketing firms targeting people, harvesting the data to sell us more shit. Either way, one must learn to become immune to propaganda. Not that I say that I am. I surely have my weaknesses where they lure me in, but I guess we could cultivate awareness. I'm aware that at any moment I could be psyopped by my traits. Okay, fellas, have a nice day.